Just because he's not only talented and capable enough to do it, but he puts in the work and he practices the way he plays.
In other plays in the secondary, though, it seems like there were breakdowns at times. Is that technique or miscommunication? Just how was Fresno's receivers able to break free at times?
Yeah, I thought, obviously, you go back and watch the tape, but just sitting from the side and knowing, what's called and within the framework of the scheme, there was the one touchdown where we had the coverage blessed. We were supposed to have somebody in the half field and they weren't there, and so obviously that leads to bad plays. And I thought we just played on our heels too much, and we didn't play with aggressive technique in our man coverages, especially in the slot. So again, those are all things that we need to work on, and we'll watch film from and get better. And we'll improve from week 1 to week 2.
Other questions? No.
What's your willingness level right now to use Hudson on designed runs to add an extra layer of your running game, or do you just have to keep him in harm's way?
Some of our runs are where he's got the option to pull it, depending on what the look is from the defense. We'll look at the tape and see, which ones he should have gave or should have kept. But you see, he's athletic enough to extend plays, and so we'll always be coming up and trying to come up with plans to move the ball successfully. We'll use everybody to do so.
You went in the game without obviously Gus Harway at center, and then in the game a lot of shuffling there on the interior of the line. What was the impact of that?
Obviously Gus and Kaltenberger, who was really our starter at center going in, coming out of fall camp. But I thought Salsa did a good job, and when Salsa went down, I thought JG went in there and did his thing as well. We'll look at the tape though and see where we need to improve. But it doesn't really matter who is available, who's not. We still need to operate and still need to successfully move the chains to win a ball game.
We saw a lot from Deion Burks today, and you called him a freak at Big Ten Media Day. We were able to see that a little bit on the field. What do you have to say about him?
Yeah, he's explosive. I feel like anytime he touches the ball, you got a chance to score, and so definitely utilized him, and I was pleased with his production. We got to find ways to continue to give him the football.
Any other questions? Back to Sam.
Ron, can you kind of describe the 3-and-out at the end of the first half, the decision there to try to be aggressive in that situation, and it leads to them kicking a 52-yard field goal that gave them some momentum going into the half?
Yeah, as a staff, we fumbled that opportunity at halftime. Anytime you are going into 2-minute mode before half, you either got to move the chains and try to go score, or you got to milk the clock and not give the opponent another opportunity going into halftime. And we failed in that arena. So that's on me as the head coach, and I got to be better in those situations.
And the defense as a whole, just what needs to be cleaned up, or what's the message to the team after this game?
Yeah, I felt like when we weren't aggressive and we weren't really dialed in and doing our jobs, we gave up unneeded yardage. And so obviously we'll go back and look at the tape and see where some of the breakdowns were. But just from my vantage point, that's usually what happened. It was a guy was misaligned here, or didn't make the right read there. We're not just being confident in technique. So we'll go back to the drawing board, if you will, and find ways to continue to improve, and we will. This is like I said earlier, this is game 1 from a new staff, new faces in the building, new schemes. Didn't work out the way we wanted it to work out, but our confidence is not shaken.
Just for you, obviously, your first game as head coach, what was it like being in that position on the sideline, having some of those decisions on your shoulders for the first time?
I felt comfortable with them. I'll go back and evaluate myself too on some of the decisions we made. I felt comfortable with the decisions to go for it on 4th down when we did. So yeah, I'll do a self-evaluation as well.
More questions for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right,
We'll start shortly.